I'm getting a little confused here because this event is called Gladiator Bangsa. Because of that, I'm sorry, I hear more beautiful word. If this would be a philanthropist or visionary of the year, I would completely back it. But I did not hear words from a gladiator this time either.
Yeah, Alex, maybe you can explain what you do in Myanmar, in Cuba, during Vietnam War. You were arrested. The courage.
Well, you know, I have gone to places where you could not go. For instance, I went with some friends to Cuba and the Fidel Castro, and I was told that it was impossible, etc., etc. And we built hotels there. I understand what he said, what he means, our friend, about gladiator. I'm not sure. I've always fought for the truth and for taking care of children. I went to Burma years ago. I've been there 30 years. I know the country very well. And
what do you do there?
What do I do there?
Yeah, this is more.
What do I do there? Well, it's very simple. We started with 30 people building housing, and then we did more housing and more real estate and so on. So that's the business side, to develop, to help develop the country economically. And I had was very lucky with a very good friends and partners. But that is not what I do, it's what we do. What I do is I do things like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Which is help people who have nothing.
Yeah.
Or children. And I wish I could do more.
Yes.
I think there are, I've known Alexander for more than 21 years. I think there are there are quite a number of stories which may not be possible to be told in this event, in this public event.
Correct.
I think, there is a not minor, it's a story of, to me, gladiator change the word, as it can be macro, it can be micro, but even when we start micro, then actually the snowballing effect may also be there. But I'm so pleased to hear your explanation about the main. It's almost like the core of your motivation is really children, to save the children and to empower children. And I remember there is a story we thought mentioning the label of a particular religion, a particular organized religion in the world. I remember the core element that motivate Alex to always save the children, empower them, is when actually you were a young boy and you actually saved a child which were being abused by an authority in the institutions that you were in. So I think from a very early age, I saw you having this core principle of protecting the weakness, of the society, protecting the weak, the weak part of the society, and particularly children. So that's one thing. And then that's my comment, because because I've experienced the stories of your life. And of course in Myanmar itself, you I don't know whether maybe it's also not possible to be stated publicly, but you, in your philanthropic work, humanitarian work, you also run through some challenges by the authority, time to time, that you basically just went past all the protocols and the rule because you believe if you followed the rule and regulation set
I would
by
have-
the authority, you would never be able to help the orphans and, you know, women there.
No, but that's also an attitude. That's a very good story, attitude about, I think Gladiator is when Mark and I were called by Brigadier General Abel, who was one of the most powerful Burmese general 26 years ago. And the funny thing is he was a Catholic raised Brigadier General Abel. He was Minister of Finance, so on. And we were summoned, Mark and I, to the military headquarters. So I thought, whoops, what's going to happen now? So we walked in and he looked at us and he said, Tippets, Teleset, you think you can go all around Burma and do whatever you want and build schools and help women educate children and do maternities in the Pao tribe when we built a maternity to help because they were having too many deaths on their children. And I looked at Brigadier General Abel. I said, "Of course we can." And then he looked at me and he said, "You know what? What you do is great, but I have all these military guys who are in charge of the north, the south, the east, who call me all the time and said, what are these two guys doing, you know? So next time you do something, you just let me know. I will call the general or the governor of the province and I will tell him there are these two guys are coming and you let them do." So I thought that was a little gladiator attitude. And he respected us tremendously. I mean, we became very close friends. Just a little example. It's not always easy to do what you want to do, even if what you want to do is good. It's sometimes very difficult, but you can do it.